Hello, this is the Tryline Podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, Denny.
Hey mate, what's going on?
Oh, not a lot, mate. It's grand final week. We've got two games left. One women, one men. Broncos, Roosters for the women. Storm, Panthers. It's going to be outstanding. I can't wait. I know you usually start, but I'm itching to talk about this daily absolute disaster. So, you mind if I have the floor, please?
No mate, all yours, all yours.
All right. So, Monday night, sat down to watch the Daily M's. Check my phone about half an hour before the Daily M's, just scrolling through Twitter. Next minute, I see the results. I see a picture. It's a leak of the whole count, or the top 10. And I thought, what's going on here? So let me tell you what happened. So the Daily Telegraph got told about 3 p.m, right? They got told the day of the Daily M's. They got told at 3 p.m. so they could just get their stories together. So then when the show was over, obviously they could release their stories, and they had a big printout for the paper the next day. Now, I don't know what's happened, but somehow they've managed to publish one of these stories, or one or two of these stories, by accident. And once you put it out there, the whole world has it. Like, one person sees it, goes on Twitter, next minute, everyone sees it. So that was going around all night, and it become pretty quickly when you're watching the show that was the count. Like, things were starting to add up. So I thought, first of all, I thought that was a shambles, and it got to the point where they had to take the players' phones off them during the game, during the awards. So then Jack White didn't find out he won the award, because I felt bad for him mostly. But any thoughts on that?
Well, I heard that Nathan Cleary already knew the results before he went there.
Yeah, we could have. It was out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Penrith came out and said they felt bad for him because he left the bubble to
Yeah, to
that
go.
ceremony knowing that he wasn't going to win.
Yeah, so
So
that's
it just goes to show. I mean, I don't know if the other players that went didn't know they're going to win, but would have
well.
been crap for them just sitting there at the ceremony.
Well, I don't know what they're doing, because there's been controversy around the Daily M's for a few years now. I can remember last year, like Craig Bellamy was an outsider to win Coach of the Year, and about a couple of hours before he won that, people started smashing him on Sportsbet, like smashing Craig Bellamy, and people won a mozza. That's why they banned betting on the Daily M this year, because someone tells the papers the actual results, and then next minute people get it out to the punters, and then they cash in. You know what I mean? So that's why they banned betting this year. But even a couple of years ago, I think everyone in the room knew that Jared Hayne and Jonathan Thurston was going to split the award that year, and that was halfway through the night. Everyone knew. So they're going to find a different way to do it. Anyway, that's half the story. It gets worse. Now we all know the result. So we're sitting there, and a lot of people are pretty happy with the result. Jack Whiten had a good year. I think we picked him as 5'8" of the year anyway. He had a pretty solid year. But we get
Yeah.
to the end of the night, and the last round, Jack Whiten's on 26, Clint Goverson's on 25, and Nathan Cleary's on 24. Jack Whiten gets rested for the last round. And I think we're all sitting there thinking, wait, Clint Gutherson, how did he play in the last round? They won. I could have thought they won. So
They did.
yeah, so and then everyone's sitting there going, well, like, all right, well, let's have a look at his stats. He had 2 try assists and a game-saving tackle in that game. Didn't get a point. Let me read off the points. Nathan Brown got 3. Paula got 2. Who do you reckon the 1 point went to?
Oh, Reed Barney?
Luke Brooks.
Luke Brooks.
Luke Brooks of the Tigers. Luke Brooks of the Tigers got 1 point there. Now he must
Not
have
old
had
boy stats.
he must have. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you. He must have had a stellar game to take the points off Clint Gutherson. You'd think. This is courtesy of Tennessee Titans fan on Twitter, by the way. Luke Brooks, 1 try, 5 runs, 60 meters, no try assists, 1 line break assist, no tackle breaks, 4 missed tackles. That's his that's his
Wow.
that's his stat line. Where Clint Gutherson, he had no tries, respectively. He had 7 runs for 77 metres, 2 try assists, a line break assist, a tackle break, only 1 missed tackle, and he made a game-winning tackle. Which, without them, I don't think they finish top 4 if he doesn't make that tackle. I think the Raiders leapfrog him because they won the last round. I think it was if they lost, they didn't finish top four. So anyway, I think it's safe to say Clint Gutherson probably should have at least shared the Daily M with Jack White. I thought.
Oh, to not get even 1 point, it's a bit sus.
Yeah, but I guess that's the way. That's nothing against Jack White, and I thought he had a good year, and he definitely deserved the award. I just thought if it comes down to that, comes down to the last round, Clint Gutherson probably deserved to share it. Nathan Cleary, the Panthers put 42 points on the Bulldogs in the last round, but I think a lot of the attack went down. What's his name? Jerome Luai's, yeah, Luai's edge. So anyway, that was the whole debacle for the Daily M's.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the State of Origin squads quickly before we get into these games. I'll read off the Queensland squad so far. They've picked AJ Brimson, Patrick Carrigan, Daly Cherry Evans, Xavier Coates. I can't see him playing, to be honest. He's probably his cover. Lindsay Collins had a great year. Fodawaker, Jake Friend, Harry Grant, Cohen Hess, Valentine Holmes, who's suspended for Game 1, Ben Hunt, Heimel Hunt, Josh Kerr, Edric Lee, and Philip Semi.
Not a bad squad.
Yep.
But not as good as New South Wales squad.
We used to have more players, so that's
Still.
the only reason.
No. There's many more reasons. But anyway, the New South Wales squad, they picked so far Nathan Brown.
Low.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Sorry. I'll let you get through.
He's high.
Okay. All right.
He's high. Regan Campbell-Gillard, Damien Cook, Boyd Cordner, Nick Kotrick, Angus Crichton, Tyson Frizzell, King Gutho, the King. The King, yes. Payne Haas, Luke Keary, Zach Lomax, Cam McInnes, and Cam Murray, 2 Cams. Junior Paulo, Daniel Saifidi, James Tedesco, Jake Trbojevic, Daniel Tupou, Cody Walker, and last but not least, Jack Whiten.
Daily M winner, Jack Whiten.
Yeah.
I really hope McInnes gets a run. I hope he gets a jersey there somewhere. I thought he tried real hard all year in a team that didn't play very well, so I hope he gets a run. Anyway, that's it.
Surely he does.
All the drama's out of the way. Let's move past it. This is our first ever grand final here on the show. We're going to break it down like this for you guys. Denny's going to read off one team. I'm going to read off the other team, probably the winning team. And we're going to break down who we think will win, how they're going to win, and we'll pick our score. And then at the end, we'll pick our man of the match for both games. So I will lead us off, I think. I'm going to read off the Broncos team, all right? Bear with me here because there's just some absolute names in this list. So if I mispronounce, I'm very sorry. But it doesn't matter because you will be grand final winners anyway, so that doesn't really matter. All right, fullback, Tamika Upton. On the wing, you got Shanae Selska. In the centres, Julia Robertson and Jermaine Frezard. On the other wing is Meg Ward. In the halves, you got Renice McGregor and the winner of the Woman of the Year, Ali Brigginshaw. In the front rows, you got Millie Boyle and Chelsea Landesi. At hooker, you got Lauren Brown. In the back row, Amber Hall, Telstra Harden, Tanine Aiken. And then on the bench, Annette Brander, Jessica Elston, Shannon Matto, and Chantel Tamara.
Well, names in there, mate.
Jesus, there's some names. I've been dreading that all day. Ever since we decided to do that. I read that and I thought, I'm dead set. I'm in for it. Yeah, give me yours.
Yeah, nice. So we got the Roosters team. They will be 2020 grand final winners. So there's the hot tip for the week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, at the fullback, we've got Shanice Parker. The wingers, we've got Talina Simon and Bridie Parker. In the centres, we've got Corbin McGregor, who is the captain, and Yasmin Meeks. In the halves, we've got Melanie Howard and Zahara Tamara. The starting front rowers, this is where it starts to get a bit tough.
Yeah.
See, Samaima Tafu, Tafa, and Philomena Hennessy.
Yeah.
Hooker, we've got Nita Maynard. The back row is Vanessa whew, Folaki and Sarah Togatuli. And at lock, we have Hannah Southwell. The bench consists of Quincy Dodd, Kennedy Sherrington, Grace Hamilton, and Jocelyn Keller.
All right,
So,
very good. All right, I'm going to tell you why the Broncos will win. All right. First, they're undefeated. They've had a stellar year. They're undefeated. Second, their spine has actually been outstanding all year. So they got Brown, Brigginshaw, McGregor, and Upton. Upton, she's been my girl from the start. Did I not tout Tamika Upton from day dot? She's been great. Brigginshaw, she's been a class player for years now. I think the spine's just too good, especially with the Roosters missing Kazlik at 6. She's gone for the year. Broncos will roll through them. It's the spine, baby.
no. No. That just won't. It won't work this week. Last week, the Roosters were just feeling the Broncos out. That's the only reason they lost, because they were just feeling them out, seeing what they'd do, seeing how they'd play. This week, totally different game. I think the Roosters, if their forwards can come out, and play a much better game than last week, I think they can definitely beat the Broncos, because you're only undefeated until you lose.
In other news, water wet. Of course, you're only undefeated till you lose.
No. I had this saying figured out in my head.
Okay.
And it sounded much better in my head, but I just
you should have left it. You should have left it there. All right.
I should no.
No. You're done. You're done. You're only undefeated till
No.
You're only undefeated
Roosters,
till you lose. Is the call?
No.
Is the statement of the whole podcast?
No.
Jesus Christ.
No. Okay, I just meant okay. Never mind.
All right.
Carry on.
Yeah. The score prediction. I'm saying the Broncos will be winning 22-4. Give Tamika Upton the woman of the match. Thanks for coming. Take that to the bank. Tick.
No.
What do you got?
No. I've got something totally different, mate. Totally different. I've got the Roosters to win in a close one, 22-18. I've picked. And I'm thinking Hannah Southwell.
Man,
I'm liking Hannah Southwell. Oh, yeah. Woman of the match, mate.
All right, well, we'll be there on Sunday, so we'll be watching that one live. And wait, you want another case on it or what? You lost a case last week. You want another case? Oh, can you afford it? I'm running you dry over here.
Oh, I can. Okay, don't worry about it. I can afford it. Don't worry about that.
All right, case is on. You heard it here first. All right, the men's grand final, the 2020 grand final. The Panthers been probably the best team all year. Melbourne been probably the best team all decade. So here it is. I'm going to read off the Panthers team. At fullback, you got Dylan Edwards. On the wings, they've been outstanding this year. Josh Mansell and Brian Tottle. In the centres, you got Stephen Crichton and Brett Naden. Now, Naden was swapped to the bench last week and didn't get on. He didn't get on. And in the press conference, they said he was swapped because Mayoff is a little bit more in defence. Now, if you're worried about the Storm's left edge, if you're worried about the Rabbitohs left edge, you're worried about the Storm's left edge, big time. So I've got a feeling that Naden won't be starting, personally. Which means I actually think he's going to miss out altogether. I think he's going to drop out of the side. But anyway, moving on. You got him in the centres at the moment. You got Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary in the halves. Just outstanding. Best halves combination this season. In the front row, James Tarmo and James Fisher-Harris. I've just realised they're both named James. Literally just then.
Wow.
Yeah. At hooker, Api Coruscant. In the back row, Viliami Kikau, Liam Munn and Isaiah Yeo, who's had a fantastic season. On the bench, Tyrone May, who I think will start. Kurt Catewell, Moses Leota and Zane Titavano. And I actually have Mitch Kenny coming into the team and Naden dropping out.
Oh, you reckon?
Yes, I do.
Wow. So who? Oh, that's right. Kikau was out last week.
Yeah, Kikau was out
Never
last week. And I feel bad for Naden. I think he's played 16 or 17 odd games this year and he's been solid. But if you're not going to pick him because of his defence, especially coming up against South's left edge, which is strong, very strong, the Storm's left edge is up there, right up there with them. It's where they go all the time. So if you don't trust Naden on that edge now, you're not going to trust him against the Storm.
Yeah, well, he's a fun fact for you. I saw this. I think it was last week before they played the Bunnies. What's his name? Brent Naden. He's played in I think they said 17 or 18 games. Hasn't lost a game.
Yeah, well, so
Hasn't lost a game. So
I don't
there
know.
you go.
Hopefully he gets a spot on the bench, but I do think he'll drop out.
Yeah, well, only time will tell, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the Storm. We've got Ryan Papenhuyzen. He's starting at fullback. Suliasi Vunivalu and Josh Adokar starting on the wings with Branko Lee and Justin Olam in the centres. So moving on to into the halves, we've got Cam Munster and Jerome Hughes. Starting props, Jesse Bromwich and Christian Welsh. With Cam Smith in at hooker. The back rowers are Felice Kafusi, Kenny Bromwich, and lock is Nelson Asafa Solomona.
Jesus.
That's how you spell his name?
Jesus, someone's going to fight him in the season. Jesus.
Someone is.
Someone will. In Bali, probably.
Yeah,
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
He's a monster, isn't he?
Oh, he's a big
He's
human.
a big human, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they've got Dale Finucane coming onto the bench. With their bench, they don't have much size on their bench. They've got Brandon Smith, Tino Fasua Malawi.
Oh, nailed
Dale
it.
Finucane. Oh yeah. I've been practicing. Dale Finucane, Nico Hines. They've got barely any size there. Only Tino. He's the only one that's kind of like a big bloke. Would you start Dale Finucane
I would.
at lock?
Yeah, I would.
And bring Nelson off the bench?
Yeah, I think there'll be a little bit of that this week. I think there'll be a little bit of mind games. You'd start Finucane. All right,
Yeah,
it's my job to tell you how the Panthers are going to win the game because they're my team.
Well,
I think first they have to start. They have to out-enthuse Melbourne. They have to start well because if you give Melbourne a start, I don't think you run them down in the grand final. So they have to start. Mm-hmm. They have to be up. They have to be enthusiastic. And that's almost their strength. They're a young side. They should be able to out-enthuse Melbourne. And if they can just match Melbourne early and they can still be there in the second half, they've got enough points to get the job done. They didn't complete a lot last week. They completed 73%. And they still managed to get it done against South, who can run up a score on you. So they could be right there. And I think they need to attack Branko Lee. Like he's got some deficiencies in defence, especially. And not so much this year, but they have been found out in years previous. And I think if they just can go at Branko Lee and find some space either side of him, that's where they're going to have the most joy.
Well. I am going to tell you why Storm can win, actually.
All right.
So I'm just going to throw this out to you. So if Storm can start off well, like they did, was it last week when they knocked the Raiders off? That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that if they start similar to then, I think they can definitely hold Penrith off.
Yeah.
If they get Penrith chasing points, that's when teams start to make a few errors, force those passes, and I think the Storm can really capitalise on that. And in the finals, Penrith have conceded the first try in both their games so far.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and they went through most of the season when they were the first try scorer. So I don't know if Storm can put a couple of tries on them early. I think they could definitely hold them out and get Penrith chasing points.
That's the thing too, because they are a young side, and I think they've had 2 players go to a grand final. I think Appy Coruscant's won a grand final at South, and I think what's her name? Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy won it with the Cowboys. So I think they got to lean on that a little bit, but they can't start slow. They can't give Melbourne a start because you got Cameron Smith there, who if he gets a start, he's going to kick you to death, and it's going to be all over. I think if Panthers win, it'll be close, but I got to pick the score. I got to be honest, and I'm going to take Melbourne 16-6.
Ooh, yeah, I think the Storm are going to win.
Yeah,
but I picked a little bit different score. I picked 18-12.
Yeah,
18-12 Storm.
Yeah, Clive Churchill. I've gone Cameron Smith. If Melbourne win, I think Cameron Smith's the man.
I think it's one of the Camerons.
Yeah, Munster.
And I think maybe even a smoky Jerome Hughes.
He was man of the
Maybe.
match last week.
Yeah, and I think he's capable of a big game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, before we get out of here, we've got some mail from Mixed Mail on Facebook. He's got Josh Adokar to score into Melbourne head to head, and he reckons to put your rent on that.
Yeah, Adokar. He's in just crazy form at the moment. Right before we go, I don't even really want to ask, but it is a sports podcast, so AFL Grand Final?
What?
The AFL Grand Final?
Who's playing again? Sorry?
I think it's, I don't know, a team...
You said Geelong.
Richmond.
And Geelong.
And Geelong, you heard of them?
Oh yeah, in my time.
Yeah.
In passing.
Any tip there for the boys?
I'll back Geelong.
Yeah, go
He's
Richmond.
the outsider.
Richmond.
He's
Case
the
on that
outsider.
as well, eh? Case on that.
Wow. Okay. Double or nothing.
Double or
for the
nothing.
women's.
All right, done. All right, we'll see you back here with our... We'll know the grand final winners when we see you next. When we see you next, the season will be over. It'll be straight into Origin chat, and we'll review the grand final here and break it all down for you. Enjoy your dinner, guys.